Hey, John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take, and today I want to talk to you about Goldvarg's 1960 Mercury Park Lane four-door hardtop. Beautiful model. I'll talk to you about Mercury for just a second. You know, in the late 40s, early 50s, everybody emerging from the war, all the automobile manufacturers trying to find their footing. Where did they fit in the market? Where did their lineup fit and everything? And Ford had a little bit of a graduated lineup, a little bit like General Motors, the whole Sloan model did. And it was Ford, Mercury, and then Lincoln, and they had plans for Lincoln. There was always a Continental LaSalle floating around, but Mercury was a little bit of a curious fit for Ford. We knew where it was supposed to fit, but by 1950 they shared body panels. They shared the frame with Lincoln, and it was supposed to be a step up from Ford. And just a step down from Lincoln, but they were so similar that I think Mercury did a little bit to lose their identity, maybe, and instead of elevating the Mercury lineup, I think it did a little bit to dilute the Lincoln lineup. Now, that continued on for a couple of years, and the question was, Mercury supposed to be a smaller Lincoln or a larger Ford? Maybe not bad, but sales were kind of lackluster, and all of that kind of came to bear on 1957 when Mercury came out with a brand new daring design. They advertised it as a design that would influence automobile design for years to come. The top of the line then was the Mercury Turnpike Cruiser, and you're gonna have to decide whether or not you like this design or not. I get back and forth on it. Some years I really love it, some years I just think it's just too busy, too cluttered. Well, and sales were okay for 57, not so good for 58, but nobody was doing good for 58. Now in 1959 they had a new model lineup. The Mercury was the same basic car, a little bit larger, and I think a really nice looking car. Late 1958, they came out with a nameplate called the Park Lane. That transferred very nicely to 1959, but I think that design kind of came into its own in 1960. It's a refinement of the 59 design, but to me that 1960 was just stunning. That huge rear window, in my opinion, that very tasteful looking grille, those taillights, which became the darling of customizers, still are. I just think the 1960 Mercury is just a beautiful design, and far enough from the norm that it was very distinctive. Well, Goldvarg's given us a model of that car, and he's made it available in two different colors. Now, this is a four-door. Previous one was a two-door. He's made it available in two different colors. Here they are. It is signal red, very obvious, and then marine blue poly. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that color once we get this on the turntable and underneath the lights. I think you're going to be surprised. I believe these models are a step up from everything we've seen from Goldvarg before, and everything we've seen from Goldvarg before was at the very height of state-of-the-art model making in 143rd resin. So I think you're going to be really pleased with this one. Let's take a look at it. Okay, the first thing that you're going to see is these colors are just absolutely stunning. The red just pops. That is it's a beautiful combination with the white interior. Just a very classy looking car. But that blue, this is a deep, deep blue. There are times under the lights where it looks purple. But it's just an incredibly deep, lustrous shine. There's a fleck to the paint that is scale appropriate, and both colors are just really stunning. Take a look at that rear window. Now that roof line and that rear window, the shape of the rear window would make or break the model, and this is nailed perfectly. A really great representation of what the actual roof line looks like in that massive rear window. I love it. Beautifully replicated detail on the interior, great steering wheel, a lot of depth to the dash, gauges are accurate, the glove box is accurate, even the seats look accurate. There's those gorgeous taillights, but look at the detail on that rear grille, the luster of the chrome, and the badging. There's no decals, those are all actual badges. There's the badging again. Most makers would use a decal in here, but this is a very delicately placed badge. I love it. The front of the car is spectacular too. Great lensing, great detail on the grille, Again, the nameplate along the front of the hood there, the little ornaments on top of the fenders, everything's just really well executed, beautifully done model. There it is, a 1960 Park Lane four-door hardtop from Goldvarg. Now these have a retail of $109. Price is going to vary a little bit. Some people are paying a little bit more. You know, we're still trying to work out this whole tariff situation. It really hasn't hit the market at the retail level yet. We're just going to have to wait to see how it plays out. I've got another couple shipments coming from China, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not I've got to pay the tariff on it. So if I'm paying them, the dealers are paying them as well. If the dealers continue to pay the tariffs, sooner or later it's going to bring a rise in prices. And again, these models are limited in production. If you find a color that you like, you really need to move on it quickly, in particular while prices are low. But I think you have to agree, it's a really beautiful model, really well done. I really enjoy the detail that I'm seeing here. Sergio's just doing a great job, and you know, thankfully he's holding the price. He does everything he can to take care of his collectors, and I hope you guys appreciate that. I certainly do. I certainly appreciate his participation in the channel. He's been a big supporter of us. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Let me know what you think about these colors. Let me know what you think about the resin market and the whole tariff thing right now. You can make a comment right below the video. If you're watching it in a platform other than YouTube, all you have to do is click on the YouTube icon in the lower right. That'll take you to YouTube, and you'll be able to leave your comments there. I'd love to have some dialogue with you. So if you like the video, give me a like. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. We got a lot of videos coming down. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. We want to keep our thumb on the market here and keep you informed as to what's going on. I appreciate your time. Thank you.